We're back with another segment at VirtuPort, and today we have with us Oleg. Thank you for being here with us, and just a while ago you had your presentation on stage. Tell us, Oleg, what is your definition of hyper-resilient cybersecurity?
So, regarding hyper-resilience, again, we are talking a lot about technology, we are talking a lot about methods that can enable us to be protected, that enable us to be cyber-resilient, but we should not forget about that we should learn from adversary as well. Because we have a conference here, right? But our adversaries also have conference, maybe not like this, on underground resources, various closed chats on various platforms. And they also discuss in modern technologies, they also discuss in AI, for example, and they are using all of these in their attacks. And so the one very important thing, if we know what we are doing, if we know how they are doing, we may be really protected because we already know that we can predict their next steps based on this.
And saying that, it takes me back to one of the points that a previous speaker has spoken about, which is the importance of collaboration, because the other end is collaborating on a faster pace. Us as the defenders side, because it's so complex, it's created by several countries, there are many issues to consider. Collaboration is not as fast and it's more complicated. At the same time, it might open doors for risk. How would you advise these collaborations take place on an international level, on a regional level, but at the same time maintaining safety and closing doors for potential risk?
Again, collaboration is extremely hard, you're right. But still, for example, if you're talking about threat research, nowadays we see a lot of threat research published by various vendors, by various government organizations, and this makes adversaries' life very hard. Because for an adversary, for a threat actor, it's extremely hard to change all the behaviors, to change methods and technologies, and it may make the attack too hard for them, because you need to change the whole attack life cycle to make it successful. And again, as I said, if we learn a lot about adversary, if we share at least, for example, like many vendors. So we came here, we analyzed local threat landscape, published a report, and we distributed absolutely free of charge, because we want to share this information with various organizations. We want to share this information with other vendors so they can build proper detection in their products, that they can build, they can have proper knowledge for their teams, so they can hunt for adversary in their networks, so they can detect and properly respond to suspicious activity. Because we are talking a lot about technology, technology can help us to detect something. But if we do not respond properly, because all those attacks, they are human operated. So if they are human operated, we need humans who can properly respond to them. Technology can help us to detect, but we as security teams, we must properly respond to them.
And what are some elements of a successful and effective responsive technique?
So, of course, I already mentioned technology, because, for example, you need proper solutions like EDR, because if you can see that something wrong happens, but you can't do anything about it, for example, a host is in another region, you can just go there and do something. So you need proper tools which allow you to respond to it. You need proper intelligence, because again, you need to understand the adversary, to understand that this alert, it's not a false positive. This alert means exact thing, exact part of the attack life cycle, so it allows you to stop it before it's too late. Because I think any organization can be compromised. You can deal with it, but it's important to not allow the adversary to exfiltrate information, to deploy ransomware, to make any harm to this. Because okay, they can get initial access, they can execute something, but if we don't have any impact, it's not a problem.
True. And one thing I think that as a continuation to what you're saying, and I've heard it a lot during the conference, is the need for immediate action, because we are at some point lagging behind when it comes to our position versus the attacker's position. But the need for immediate action also needs widespread of information and access to cybersecurity methods. And right now, all organizations don't have that prominent level of access, whether it's awareness or whether it's use of these methodologies. How do you think we can solve this problem, or maybe develop in the widespread of information access or the practice of cybersecurity technologies in companies?
I don't think that it's hard to access it, because nowadays there are a lot of books, a lot of blogs, a lot of information, and maybe this is a problem, because we have
yet it's not there with them.
Yes, because it's too much information, and nowadays we need to filter this information somehow. Also, the very important part of it, for example, we presented a training here, CyberPolygon, based on real adversary behaviors. There, people can practice their skills and look how real cyber attack looks like, and that's very important, because a lot of books, courses, and all that, they usually don't have enough information for people to truly understand. For example, I have 10 plus years of experience of incident response. Of course, I've seen a lot of things, but people who work for some organization, they may never see a real incident, and it's really hard for them to properly respond to it. So, okay, they see antivirus alerts, EDR alerts, etc. It may be really hard to understand if it's a real threat or not. That's why it's really important to create courses, to create trainings that allow attendees to see how it looks like in reality. And this will help, of course, to properly respond to real adversaries.
The information that you presented is, I think, very precise, and at the same time, you've shed a lot of light on the importance of it trickling down to a practical level.
Yeah.
And I liked how you used training as an example. We talk a lot about technology from the technical perspective, creating new programs. But one missing link, I think, that we've addressed a lot in this conference is also the human capital element, because they are the end users. At the end of the day, they are handling these programs. And I also know one more thing, that it's your first time to Saudi, which is a very interesting piece of information. I would love to know what your perspective is in terms of the Saudi landscape right now in cybersecurity.
So it's amazing, because I talked to lots of people yesterday. I think I'll talk to lots of people today. They have great interest, and that's the most important thing, because, as I said, we have trainings, we have books, we have courses, we have blogs. But if you are not interested in all this, you can't do anything. But here, people, they are really interested in all this. They're asking questions, they're very interested in products, services, in education. A lot of people come to our booth and ask about CyberPolygon, about trainings. They're talking about it. They're trying to make their level of cybersecurity higher. They want their people to be trained. That's amazing. I think it's the first time I see such interest.
That's amazing feedback. Thank you, Oleg. And this is your first visit to the conference, but hopefully we will see you again in the coming years. And I hope to interview you again here in VirtuPort. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.